Welcome to Jesus Christ Prison Ministry and another video Bible study. Our topic, Deuteronomy chapter 25. When men have a dispute, they are to take it to court and the judges will decide the case, acquitting the innocent and condemning the guilty. If the guilty man deserves to be beaten, the judge shall make him lie down and have him flogged in the presence with the number of lashes his crime deserves. But he must not give him more than 40 lashes. If he is flogged more than that, your brother will be degraded in your eyes. God is a God of justice. It's not about degrading. It's not about revenge. It's about justice. It's about helping people learn to change their lives, disciplining. Do not muzzle an ox while it is treading out the grain. And the same with those around you. Okay? We have an obligation to bless our workers, our animals. Everything in our life is to be a blessing to others. Never are we to cause hurt or pain to others unnecessarily for our selfishness. And that's the whole point. Too many people, it's their pride and ego, and they want to hurt others while they, to build up their own pride and ego. Their arrogance, folks. We are to kill our pride and ego, never to hurt somebody else. If brothers are living together and one of them dies without a son, his widow must not marry outside the family. Her husband's brother will take her and marry her and fulfill the duty of a brother-in-law to her. The first son she bears shall carry on the name of the dead brother so that his name will not be blotted out from Israel. Now, this is one of those commands that was to Israel only, not to be carried on today. There are those commands that were to Israel as a nation that are no longer necessary because Israel has been rejected by God as a nation. Individually, they, of course, can have salvation if they accept Jesus Christ as the Messiah. However, if a man does not want to marry his brother's wife, she shall go to the elders at the town gate and say, "My husband's brother refuses to carry on his brother's name in Israel." Notice, it's not about selfishness. It's not about, he won't marry me, I want to marry him. I love him. Folks, it was about duty and responsibility. He will not fulfill the duty of a brother-in-law to me. Then the elders of his town shall summon him and talk to him. If he persists in saying, "I do not want to marry her," his brother's widow shall go up to him in the presence of the elders, take off one of his sandals, spit in his face, and say, "This is what is done to the man who will not build up his brother's family line." That man's line shall be known in Israel as the family of the unsandaled. You have to understand, back then, property came with the family name. The wife of the dead husband needed to have property to take care of herself and daughters and other family members. So the male child was important to keep the property in the family, to take care of what was left, who was left. If two men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand. Show her no pity. Do not have two differing weights in your bag, one heavy, one light. Do not have two different measures in your house, one large, one small. You must have accurate and honest weights and measures so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. The Lord Your God detests anyone who does these things, anyone who deals dishonestly. Are you dealing dishonest with people around you? Are you showing favoritism? This person over here you do different to than you do this person over here? Folks, God is a God of justice. He is not impartial. Everyone is the same in His eyes. He deals with all of us according to the standard of righteousness, His 10 Commandments. They don't change. Every person will be judged by them. Therefore, says the Bible, we need to look into them and change our lives. Remember what the Amalekites did to you along the way when you came out of Egypt. When you were weary and worn out, they met you on your journey and cut off all who were lagging behind. They had no fear of God. When the Lord your God gives you rest from all the enemies around you in the land He is giving you to possess as an inheritance, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. Now that we are no longer under the theocracy of Israel, God is our avenger. Those that do us wrong, God will avenge. Those that hurt us, when we are just standing around, when we are not doing anything to hurt them, if what they have is a perceived hurt, okay? You've seen those, always pointing fingers at everybody else, blaming them. When there's no blame, there's no problem, there's no hurt. The person himself wants to hurt others instead of controlling himself, taking himself in hand, leaving people alone and just doing his duty. If we hurt others, God will avenge us. So our duty every day is to always do what we can to be a blessing to those around us, no matter what they do to us. And then God will bless us. Thank you for being with me and Jesus Christ for another video Bible study.